Hey everyone, Chris here from IELTSadvantage.com with another lesson, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to focus on how to stop overthinking your IELTS preparation. So many of you are wasting 95–99% of your time and focusing on the wrong things. You are overthinking your preparation and focusing on things that don't really matter and not spending enough time on the things that actually will contribute to you getting a higher score. So it is a very good idea to obviously ask questions like, how do I improve task 2 or speaking or listening or smaller things within those. It's always good to think about the actual details and how to do things, but sometimes it's good to step back and really think about how you are preparing for the test. And one of the main reasons why people don't prepare as well as they could is overthinking. So let's think about the goal. What's the end goal? What should you be aiming for? Well, number one, you want to be focusing on your weaknesses. There are specific things that are going to stop you getting the score you need. These are very, very specific because IELTS are applying objective criteria to your writing or to your speaking. So there are specific things that you need to focus on. Number two, focus on things that improve your score. Do not worry and debate and spend time on things that are not actually going to improve your score. Most of you, most of the time, focus on things that do not matter. So you need to focus on things that do matter and ignore everything else. All right? Just put everything else out of your mind. Focus on actually improving, and then your scores are definitely going to improve. One of the main reasons why your scores are not improving is you don't focus on your weaknesses. You focus on things that are a complete waste of time, and then you get in trouble. And the words highlighted here, focus, focus, ignore is just another way of saying focus. You need focus. What does focus mean? Focus means basically cutting everything else out and just concentrating on the important things. So how can we do that? So a good way to help you understand how this works is to introduce you to these two guys. So Steve Jobs, hopefully you know who Steve Jobs is. Mark Zuckerberg, hopefully you know who Mark Zuckerberg is. One of the things these guys have in common, apart from founding insanely successful companies, is they wear the same clothes every single day. So Steve Jobs wore the same shoes, jeans, turtleneck pretty much for 20 years. Mark Zuckerberg pretty much wears the same grey shirt and navy hoodie every single day, even though they could afford literally any clothes. They could buy all the clothes in the world. Why do they do this? Because they are focused on their goals. Their goals have nothing to do with the clothes they wear. They don't want to make that extra decision every morning about, am I going to wear this or that, or what shoes should I wear, or what jeans am I going to wear. They want to just focus on their goals. And this might sound trivial, but if these two guys are doing that, then that's something that you should pay attention to. So the more decisions you make throughout the day, there's something called decision fatigue. And think about a very stressful morning you had. Imagine waking up and you couldn't find the right clothes or the right socks, and then you got down and there wasn't enough milk for your breakfast cereal, and then you ran to get the bus and you didn't know which bus to get, and you're just making decision after decision after decision, and you're really stressed out and you're exhausted. This is kind of the same as what you're doing with IELTS. You're making decisions and you're thinking about things that have no relation to how you are actually going to improve your score. So that's what you need to focus on. So, paralysis by analysis. So, paralysis means inaction, not doing anything. Analysis means thinking about things. So, not taking any action by overthinking. All right, so let's look at some IELTS examples within an IELTS context of overthinking things that have no bearing on your IELTS scores. Should I go to IDP or British Council? I wrote an article about this. It's one of the most visited articles on my site. And whether you choose IDP or British Council has no bearing, no effect on your score. They are exactly the same. How long should I prepare? It doesn't You can't answer that question. It might take you 6 weeks, it might take you 6 months. Many of you will spend hours and days and weeks and months talking to people about how long it's going to take you to get the scores you need. A smarter way of doing it would be just to start working and then figure it out. So actually start taking action. So if you're spending all your time debating with your teacher how long it's going to take you to improve, and every single minute you're doing that is a minute you're not focusing on your goals. Talking about things like, should I use a pen or a pencil? That is the silliest thing I've ever heard. It's not whether you have a pen or a pencil or a smart pen like I have. It's what you actually write with the pen, not the instrument in your hand. People saying things like, should I skip a line between paragraphs or should I indent my paragraphs? People do actually spend a long time talking about that and researching it and really thinking about it when it has no bearing on your score whatsoever. Should I write TFNG or true, false, not given? Students have wasted days arguing with me about this. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Which teacher should I follow? Should I follow this teacher or that course or this YouTube channel or that Facebook page? Pick one you trust and focus on that instead of looking at all these different things. So let's go into a little bit more detail. Imagine you're doing a task 2 opinion essay and you're learning how to write an introduction. And you might be thinking, should I paraphrase or not paraphrase? Should I include my opinion or not include my opinion? Should I outline my main ideas or not? How many words? Some people say 100, some people say 90, some people say 50. How many lines will I write? Is it like 3 lines or 4 lines or how many sentences? And most of that does not matter, okay? So anytime I do a demo lesson on how to write an introduction, I'll get 50 students saying, you should have done this and you shouldn't have done this and my teacher says this and it's not your fault. There are just a huge number of voices out there telling you what you should and shouldn't do, and it's really confusing and it's very difficult to focus on anything when you've got lots of people talking at you and lots of people telling you different things. So you need to get rid of all that noise and really focus on your goals. So how are you going to do that? Okay, so how to focus on your IELTS goals. Choose one teacher, find out the exact reasons why you're going to fail, focus on your biggest weaknesses and ignore everything else. So let's have a look at each of these. Choose one teacher or one source of information or one course and stick to that, all right? How are you going to find them? Find one person or one course or one source of information that you trust, okay? It's a completely different video. I could make a 30-minute video on how to find a teacher or how to find a course that you trust, but a really easy way for you to find that out is just look at their past students. If they have real testimonials from real students who had a really good experience with them, then chances are they're a good teacher. If they don't, and they're telling you things like, you know, we guarantee a band 9, maybe be very careful. But the key words there are trust and one. Find someone you trust and stick with them. Then you're not finding out, you know, you're looking at 17 different ways to write an introduction. You're just focusing on one thing. That's going to save you a huge amount of time, stress, and mental energy. Number 2, find out the exact reasons why you failed or might fail. If your car was broken down, what would you do? You wouldn't just throw your car away. You would find out the part of your car that is broken and you would fix it. If you were ill, you wouldn't just, you know, say, yeah, I'm ill, doesn't matter, I'm not bothered trying to get better. You would go to a doctor and they would treat the part of you, the system or the part of your body that is ill. If you had a sore tooth, you wouldn't rip out all your teeth. You would focus on the tooth that is causing the pain. Same with IELTS. You're not going to, or you are probably going to do this, but it's a silly idea to go and sit in a classroom with 50 other students and just listen to someone lecture you on stuff that really doesn't matter, not applicable to you. You need to focus on your weaknesses, the exact reasons why you are failing, and then you're going to improve. So focus on your biggest weaknesses first. So for some of you, it might be vocabulary, it might be grammar, it might be how to develop ideas, it might be how to generate ideas. There is one thing that is your weakest area. If you get a good teacher, they will be able to tell you that weakest area. Focus on your weakest area first, improve that, then move on to the next weakest area, the next weakest area, the next one. And then you're going to improve and you're going to go in an upward trajectory. Ignore everything else, all right? Completely ignore everything else. Have hyper focus and get on and get going with your preparation. Let's look at some example students. And we see this every single day on our courses. So Priyanka, she joins one teacher, so isn't wasting her time looking at many different resources. She finds out that grammar and vocabulary are her main issues. Everything else, her speaking is good, or reading is good, or listening is good, but for writing, everything else is good apart from her grammar and her vocabulary. And the specific things within grammar and vocabulary are her articles, her punctuation, and her spelling. Now imagine Priyanka has 6 weeks before her test. Would it be better that Priyanka goes to, join some general online course, or goes and sits in a classroom with 40 other students and listens to stuff about listening, stuff about reading, stuff about how to develop an argument, when her only concerns are articles, punctuation, and spelling? Would it be better if she joins a 6-week general course, or just spend 6 weeks focusing on those things because her teacher, who knows what they're doing, told her to do those things? Let's look at another example. Summit joins one course. That course is really good because they give him feedback on his work, and he needs to focus on idea development. His grammar is good, his vocabulary is good, he knows how to write. The only thing that's really missing is his idea development. He's listing lots and lots and lots of ideas. His task 1 is great. He doesn't need to focus on task 1. He only needs to focus on idea development, and that means topic sentences, explanations, and examples. So imagine he has 8 weeks before his test. Do you think in 8 weeks it's easy to learn how to write a topic sentence, explain that topic sentence, use examples? Even if Summit only has 2 hours a day, he could get that done pretty easily. So it's all about focusing on what matters, not spending a long time debating whether he should write with a pen or a pencil. Let's look at example number 3, Harry. So, goes to a Band 9 school in his local area, and it's called like Band 9 school, and they guarantee that he'll get the score that he needs. He fails, all right, because they don't teach him anything. Number 2, joins lots of IELTS Facebook groups. Spends a long time on Facebook debating very important things like whether to use a pen or a pencil, how many exact words to write in an introduction, and he fails because he wastes his time. Number 3, reads all of the different IELTS books. Instead of just focusing on one, he reads them all. So he spends about 3 months reading all the IELTS books, and he fails. Why? Because all the different IELTS books tell different stories and tell you to do different things. So he's even more confused now. Then he watches lots of YouTube experts. All of them disagree about how to write an essay, or how to do a speaking course, or how to do their speaking strategies are all mixed up, and everyone disagrees with each other, and some of them don't even know what they're doing, so he fails again. Harry will probably be failing for years and years and years and years. And the sad thing about Harry is he thinks he's working hard. So Harry thinks he's went to a school, he's joined all the Facebook groups, he's read every single IELTS book, he's watched every video on YouTube, and he's still failing. And he hates this test. And he thinks that he's working really hard, and he's frustrated. He's working hard, but he's not working smart, which is what you need to do. You don't need to work extremely hard on every single thing to do with IELTS. You just need to focus on the things that matter. So focus on the essential few things, and that is different for everybody, but focus on those and ignore the trivial many. Most of the things that you are focusing on have no bearing on your final score. Any questions? I'll take questions. What time is it? I have a few minutes for some questions. I'll see if there are any interesting ones on. It's interesting on YouTube, the questions are always very, very, very different from the questions on Facebook. Can I get your WhatsApp number, please? I don't give my WhatsApp number out publicly because that would be a silly thing to do, but you can email me, chris@IELTSadvantage.com. I'm going to sneeze and cover up the microphone when I sneeze. Let's see. What if I want to buy your non-VIP course? I don't have any non-VIP courses. What is the criteria for reserving advance to students who are on the... I don't understand that. May I ask, from which place do you belong? I don't belong to any place. I think you mean, where am I from? Northern Ireland is where I'm from. See, this question, do we need to leave a line at the end of a letter? Doesn't matter. Why would you even worry about that? Okay, so a lot of you are asking general questions like, how do I improve my reading? How do I improve my speaking? How do I improve my writing? So if you go to IELTSadvantage.com, so if you Google that or put that in, IELTSadvantage.com, and then you scroll down, writing task 1, writing task 2, speaking, reading, listening, vocabulary, and you can also find your answers here. Just write in your question and you can have a look there. I'm going to go because I'm very busy, but if you want to email me, if you want help with your preparation, feel free to email me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry I don't have much time for questions today. Just really, really busy. And if you need anything, get in touch. Bye-bye.